So this time from the third series of Marvel Legends, the third wave of Marvel Legends, we're taking a look at the first of the two trade-off or running change. This one you would either get the Punisher or Blade. And since I ordered these online, I didn't know which I was going to get. I think I lucked out in getting the Punisher. I would have taken either, but I wanted the Punisher more because I think I needed an update on the older Punisher. So let's take a look at the packaging, back of the package here. You can see the art of the Punisher and or Blade there. You can even see the similarities and what parts they used from other figures in the art there, particularly the jackets and the vest underneath. And there you go. Okay, not as good as the other art pieces on the back, but okay. Very nice face sculpt, I think. You can see like his 5 o'clock shadow painted on. I guess the skull piece is alright, although they continuously give his skull these flares at the end of his eyes, and I don't think he really has that in the comics, but I don't know. I'm not that big of a Punisher fan to find out. The longest I've stuck with the series is this most recent one written by Greg Rucka. I do have the older Toy Biz figure that unfortunately I haven't been able to do a review on, but here he is, and you can see his face and the skull on his suit. Of course, he doesn't have the long coat look that the new figure does. He has the really odd, for the Marvel Legends line, these type of joints at the legs that they only use for a couple of figures. He was a pretty nice figure, but really did want an updated figure for the Punisher, and thus we get this figure. His whole, again, they reuse a lot of older figures, and particularly the Nick Fury figure from the, I believe it's Captain America line, the 6-inch line, and the Winter Soldier from the 2-pack of 2011, the Widow and Winter Soldier 2-pack. Mainly the legs from the Winter Soldier figure. The rest is pretty much reused from the Nick Fury figure. Even the jacket is, or the long coat, and the sleeve pieces. But that's alright. You know, it doesn't look too similar that it's that much of a problem, and you know, they do put a lot of detail onto this figure that differentiates him from that figure. Mainly the belt buckle here with the ammo packs and grenades and pouches there. Now he does come, as any Punisher should, loaded to bear. He's got this little submachine gun or automatic pistol type weapon here. He's got this assault rifle type weapon. He's got a little handgun in here that can be holstered, which is very neat, just like the Nick Fury figure. And he comes with some additional weapons here. Finally, a shotgun. Although it's one of those more modern-looking shotguns. Got some nice shells on the outside, extra clips onto the outside there, and the pump action with the grip. So that's pretty neat. And he's got this white rifle with this baffle. Very cool looking rifle with scope and everything. So you do get a lot of weapons. For articulation, he is a little bit kind of limited at the shoulders here due to his jacket or long coat, and it does make poses a little bit limiting because of the way it's sculpted, but it generally it's pliable enough to get out of the way. Head is very nice, up and down, looks up a lot, as you can see, and down all the way. So that's very good. He's got the upper torso articulation. You know, that's okay. I don't know, you get good range of motion there, forward and back and left and right, even side to side some. He's got double jointed elbows. Wrists rotate and bend in and out on both hands. The legs, unfortunately, at the hips have that interior ball joint where you have to mess around with that, and the thigh articulation to get his legs moving forward. I'm not a particular fan of it. They got double knee joints. He rotates at the foot and bends forward and back there. And that's it. He first appears in Amazing Spider-Man number 129 back in 1974. Yes, this guy is as old as I am. Of course, he's a veteran of the U.S. Marine Corps who, I guess, originally was part of the Vietnam War and is now retconned as being Gulf War I. After serving in combat, he leads the military and becomes a New York City police officer. And his family gets caught in the crossfire of a mob gun battle, and he decides to become a vigilante. And initially he's kind of a mix between a vigilante and a bounty hunter, actually going after Spider-Man for bounty, but then he's changed to having a completely vigilante anti-crime, or, you know, a personal war on crime, if you will. And again, this takes place during the 80s, sort of during that grim and gritty heroes upsurge, and it's there that his popularity takes off. And he gets his own series, or several of his own series, eventually. First having been really big parts of both The Amazing Spider-Man and Daredevil. Frank Miller does some great stuff with him in the pages of Daredevil. He pretty much remains the same way throughout the 90s and into the 2000s. However, it does get played out a little bit, and it seems like the company realized that, and they decided to kill him off. And they killed him off to where he just went insane, and he killed, or thought he killed, Nick Fury and shot himself over the guilt. Because Nick Fury was a good guy and basically an innocent, he felt he needed to punish himself and shot himself. Well, he didn't stay dead for long, because as part of the Marvel Knights, he was resurrected in a really bad move as a new type of Punisher. Only this time, he wouldn't be hunting criminals. He would be hunting down demons. Yes, that's right. He was a demon hunter. And even received weird angelic weapons that looked like these weird guns. And suffices to say, that didn't last very long before he was once again relaunched by Garth Ennis. Garth Ennis took him back to his vigilante roots, but unfortunately, I liked that series when it started. I think it became a bit too satirical and a lot done for shock's sake. And that continued when Marvel decided to do a mature line, the Max line, and one of the first titles was Punisher. And there, Ennis cut loose. I'm told that it was more grounded in reality, but it just wasn't my thing. I do know that back then he did take the Punisher back to his Vietnam route, so he was operating as the Punisher for a long time, like over 30 years. And also in that version of the Marvel Universe, there are no really super-powered humans. In the main Marvel Universe, the 616 universe, the Punisher still continued to be around as a character. And I think I know that during the Civil War, he sort of wore this, after Captain America's death, he wore this Captain America-inspired Punisher outfit that had, like, stars on it and stuff, and he started to hunt down some super villains, actually killing off mostly lame characters. The next I know of him is, he came up against the fake Wolverine, or Wolverine's son, actually, Daken, and he lost. And Daken cut him up into little pieces, and he was thought to have been dead, but was actually reassembled into the laughable, but yet somehow popular Frankencastle. So he was returned as like a Frankenstein's monster. Eventually that's ended, and the most recent relaunch by Greg Rucka is really good. It gets back to traditional Punisher stories, and he's it's kind of neat because he has a sort of a sidekick or protege now that he's mentoring in his war on crime. So it is an interesting story. Unfortunately, that is ending. He's getting a 5-issue miniseries after that series ends, which is basically he does something, I guess, at the end of the series that the Avengers are going to hunt him down, and so they will hunt him down and, I guess, capture him, because he's now going to be part of the new Marvel Now Thunderbolts. whether as a leader or just a member of that group. I don't know what it's going to be. What's also funny is that the Punisher has, for the sort of kind of character that he is, has been given a lot of chances at the box office. I don't know if most people will remember the '89 Punisher movie with Dolph Lundgren as the Punisher. Yes, I know he has blonde hair. He dyed it for the movie. But that was okay. Then we got Thomas Jane as the Punisher in 2004. And that was, again, okay, but for different reasons. I mean, mainly, the bad thing about that was that it wasn't in New York, and John Travolta was in his scene-chewing, villainous persona, and otherwise it was pretty solid, I thought. And then we got Ray Stevenson in 2008's Punisher Warzone, and that was alright, mainly for the action. Everything else was kind of stupid, but the action was kind of fun and over the top. But it wasn't a real serious movie. Oh, most recently, Thomas Jane returned to the character, sort of, because they couldn't just come out and say it. But he did his own little web-based movie, a little 15-minute movie that he did on his own, and unofficial, unlicensed, and it was really good. I liked it, even with the stupid CGI blood. So, there you go. When that's it for Punisher. Stay tuned for my next review, which will be Mystique. And until then, I'll see you.